Hey, it's old Brookie. I'm still here. So we're talking about building a solo over a backing track, and so I just kind of gave a overview of finding the 1-4-5, finding your key, and finding your notes, and starting to put something together. So, your 1-4-5, of course. Not to repeat myself, but I do, haha. Because a lot of stuff is repetitive, really. A lot of the music I like is the same thing, 1-4-5, 1-6-4-5, or something like that. Your basic 3-chord, 4-chord blues, rock and roll, or whatever you want to do. Punk rock, surf, rock and roll, I don't care. I like everything. Country. I like simple stuff. All right. And that's why blues is fun to play, because it's not overly complex. But you could do, one thing I really like to do is what I call template licks. It's kind of stiff sounding, but here's an example of a template lick in C. Something like... Then take it up to the F. Whoa, I missed. I blame the guitar. So let's count the notes in that lick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's 8 notes, which is pretty common for music in 4/4 time. You count to 4, 8, 12, 16, stuff like that. So that's pretty normal. All right, this template lick, I know it sounds stiff, but I think of this as training wheels, and it's fun, okay? So yeah, it's just a training tool to help get people out of just sitting there going, wow, what do I do? Or here's, if you're stuck just doing the scale, that's okay. But if you want to move it to another key or kind of develop it into a phrase, that's my big word, phrase. It's got to make sense. A scale is just sort of a starting point, but you have to make a phrase. It's like, it's like if you had a vocabulary list, but you couldn't make a sentence, you're trying to communicate, it's going to not be very good for what we want to do. And that's what we're trying to do, is make our guitar talk a little bit here. And so, let's see what's going on here. Let's try to, if you're interested in that template lick, I think we've done a lot of these on this channel, but I like to do them so I don't have any problem repeating myself. Hopefully you're ready to learn. So it is a shape. Well, you remember your big bad C bar chord. It's going to be based on that. We're going to be hitting a lot of those notes. Those are chord tones. Did I yell? Chord tones. Chord tones. Very important. They're like targets. You hit them. You land on them. You resolve on the chord tones. That's important. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you're thinking about chord tones. So here comes. Listen to my lick again. Listen to where it ends. I kind of forgot how it goes. Let's see. But I'm going to rely on my kind of lizard brain just to play or muscle memory. I'm just going to go for it. Ooh, surprise, surprise. Ends on a major third. I love the major third. The root is a little too obvious. Let's do it with the root. Like, duh, of course we're going to hit the root. But the third sounds a little more melodic. It sounds cool to me, the third. All right. So here's what I'm playing. I'm thinking about that C bar chord at the 8th fret, based on the C root at the 8th fret. That's how it works. You find that root. root, root, root. All right. Build your power chord off the root. Build your bar chord off the power chord. Yeah. If you haven't figured that out yet, you better go back and learn your bar chords. So if you got your bar chords, you're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to be landing on some of these notes. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I just want to make sure nobody's unsure about this. Okay, so here comes, really it's going to be all chord tones except for a couple of them. So here's just the notes of the chord. I'm leaving out the 2 fat strings, just going with the 4 skinny strings. That's a root, 3rd, 5th root. C, E, G, C. Fret numbers 10, 9, 8, 8. So that's just like an F chord. F, G, A, B, C. Woo! Amazing. Work on that. If that's not possible for you right now, you got to go back and get that shape under control. All right, that's a root, 3rd, 5th root. Those are the notes that make a C chord. We're going to add the flatted 7, which makes it a C7, which is kind of like spice. It makes it not so boring sounding. It gives you that dominant 7, which is kind of like edgy. I always visualize like a rusty razor blade when I hit that flatted 7. Because it really cuts. It's got attitude. It's mean. It's spicy. It's tough. I like it. Oops, I missed it. That's a B flat. That's the 11th fret, 2nd string. Hear that? Root, 3rd, 5th, root, flatted 7. I absolutely love that right there. Back to a 5th. That's a G. So we got C, E, G, C, B flat, G. If you can get that far, you're doing great. Now, another note outside of the chord. It's a minor 3rd, which, of course, that's dark and cool and damp and mysterious and evil and depressing and all kinds of moody stuff, you know. So we're from the minor 3rd to the major 3rd. So we got that mean flatted 7 to the crazy minor 3rd. Wow. Sounds kind of wrong. You're like, whoa, what happened to my chord? Well, it's a minor 3rd, but we're going to use that minor 3rd and just to kind of like color it a little bit, add a little spice, a little flavor, a little mood. We're going to go from the minor 3rd to the major 3rd. Hear that minor 3rd to a major 3rd. You could bend it. And you could be getting bored by now. Okay, so you know what happens when you get sick of playing one chord? Yeah, you go to another chord, which would be F. And you can vary this all you want. If you want to, you know, if this just gives you a spark of an idea, go ahead and modify it. That's really the point. these templates aren't meant to be permanent. They're just a starting point for my buds who are trying to expand their guitar knowledge a little bit. So that's the same exact lick, just based on the F note. F at the 15th fret, 4th string. You could even go up here. Oops. But let's go back here for C. Then you got your G, which could be down here. 5th fret, 4th string is the root of G. That's going to correspond with the G bar chord, or power chord, or root. Your F could be down here too. All right, these are just training ideas. I wouldn't really play this as a solo, but at least you know where to move your hand to be in the right neighborhood to play your lick. So yeah, if you were to get good at this, let's see, what would you do next? So that was improvising, which, I'm kind of a stumbly guy. Yes, I boofed a couple of notes, but at the end of the day, I just have fun with it. So I don't get too uptight if I make a little mistake. I remember it, but I come back and maybe practice that later. But when you're improvising, you're going to stumble a little bit unless you're some sort of a wizard. Just keep it real, man. Don't worry about it. And every time you make a little mistake, you might, sometimes that gives a little extra kind of character to your solo. You'll hear Jimmy Page kind of stumble on some things. And, people call him sloppy, but I'm sure Stevie Ray Vaughan missed a couple of notes, as did Jimi Hendrix. And I think they just kept going. So, all right, man. So that's kind of a follow-up to my previous video. But thanks to Scott for asking the killer question. And, yeah, man, if you could memorize that template lick or write it out with Guitar Pro, I've probably sent that one out. I've probably written that out and sent it out multiple times to multiple people. So hopefully that's not totally foreign to anybody. If it is, that's cool. Just catch up and keep practicing, man. You'll get it. And just enjoy it. Wherever you're at with guitar, just enjoy that. All right, now it's time to load the vehicle up and go get ready to do the gig, man. So I'm grateful to have these little gigs I play. They're fun. They give me something to do. So I hope you have something to look forward to. And I look forward to your comments. And if you want to subscribe, that is great. So, yeah, man. Have a good day. Thank you. Take care.